Just a few seconds here. Let some of our viewers join us. Tell us hello. Let us know where you're viewing from so we know you're here.
There we go. Now it's starting to go. Hi, Brenda. Laura. That's New Jersey. Wanda.
All right, got quite a few on now.
All righty. Paden Bray is back with us today. If you guys missed him on Tuesday, make sure you go check out that live video with him. He did an awesome job. He talked about healer and team roping on Tuesday, and today he is going to talk about Rattler ropes used in breakaway and calf roping, and also racer strings.
As usual, don't forget to put all those questions in the comments there at the end of this live video. Once again, we will be giving away a classic rope back and a Rattler rope of the winner's choice. So you're going to want to make sure that you get all your questions in, or just say hello and let us know that you're watching with us. And with that, Paden, we're going to turn it over to you.
Perfect. Well, thank you guys for watching. My name's Paden Bray. I'm going to talk to you guys about the Rattler ropes and strings. Got some big shoes to fill today. My buddy Ty Harris couldn't make it because he's up in Redmond, but we're going to give it a go here. So on the Rattler side, there is 3 calf ropes in the line. And we're going to talk a little bit about sizes today. And then just like Tuesday, we're going to talk about the poly and then the nylon poly blend. So the first one up today, this is the Striker. This is a 4-strand with a core, and it is 100% poly. This is one of the polys they have to offer. And then we're also, today we can talk about the sizes. The size is how big around the rope is. This right here is a 10-0. And those sizes range from an 8.5 to a 10.75. So this is kind of right in the middle. Your more novice ropers, your younger kids, or your ladies with the smaller hands, you're probably going to want to use a 9.0, like a 9.5, something that's smaller around, easier to grip. You guys in the calf roping, you might want something a little heavier, something with a little bit more weight, so you can be able to swing your rope a little bit better. So that's just talking about the sizes. But when you're going to fill in this rope, 100% poly, and it's going to feel a little bit not bigger, but compared to the other 2 5-strands in the Rattler line, this rope is going to feel a little bit big in your hand. But the nice thing about all the Rattler ropes to me is that these the polys, the Striker and the Viper, even though they're a poly, they're going to have decent body. They're going to have some body. They're not just going to be like a noodle. They're not, when you pick it up, it's not going to be like a hay string. If there's not going to have, they still have decent body. And so when you swing it around your head, you're going to be able to feel that tip come up, and your rope's going to be able to stay open. And that's the really nice thing about these ropes. And I just pull these up right off the rack. They both feel really good. They're going to hang in your hand pretty straight, just right down the middle for you. But just a really good feeling poly rope. And it's going to be more, I can give you the characteristics of the rope, but it's going to be more for your preference. The Striker is going to feel a little bit deader, a little bit more true in your hand, not as quite as fast, but it's going to obviously stay where you put it, and that curl is going to really come around really nice and open and smooth. Just a real good, solid rope. And from there, we're going to move to the Viper. And the Viper is the same thing. It's 100% poly, and this rope is the 5-strand. This is the first ever 5-strand poly rope with a core. And the Viper is going to feel real smooth, real fast, because it is a 5-strand, but it's got that feel in your hand where it's all there. It's going to be really quick, really snappy. This is a really big favorable rope for the breakaway ropers. This rope, it's going to go from a 9.0 to a 10.5. But even like in the 9.0s and the 9.5s, it's going to feel small in your hand, almost like an older kind of poly feeling to me. But it's going to be tightly spun and it's going to feel really fast. There's a lot of ladies that love this rope. There's a lot of guys that like breakaway with this rope. But it's going to be a smooth, fast, consistent feel. And I really do enjoy this rope. It feels very good. There's guys that even steer trip with this rope. My partner every now and then will bust with this rope and the striker. But this is a very good rope. It's going to have, I think this rope has maybe even a touch more body than the striker does. But it's still going to feel very good in your hand. It's going to feel very fast, very smooth action. And then from there, we're going to move to the new one. This is the Spitfire. This is the first ever nylon poly blended calf rope in the world. Most polys, most calf ropes are 100% poly. This one is a nylon poly blend. And for the reason for this rope is breakaway roping has become I would say a mainstay in the sport of rodeo. This rope, they're starting to have breakaway ropings absolutely everywhere. And there was a need for this rope. Two many-time multiple world champions, Jackie Crawford and Kelsey Chase, teamed up with the guys at Rattler to make a rope that, you know, times are getting faster. I'm roping really aggressive. I want a rope that's going to stay open, be able, when I hit the line, to be able to get a rope out of my hand. And I want a rope to stay open and let me reach farther with it. And this is where this rope came about. This rope is with a nylon poly blend. This rope's going to have more body, more stability, and this rope is going to stay more open. I talked to Kelsey Chase on the phone yesterday, just kind of quizzed her a couple things. You know, her favorite was the Viper, and she still prefers the Viper if she's going to tie down rope, or if she likes to just kind of rope fresher calves, maybe some dairy calves right up there, really get the rope tight. But 99% of the time, she's going to be using the Spitfire. If the reason is Kelsey ropes amazing, has great rope control, and she swings really, really aggressive. And when she swings aggressive with the Viper, sometimes she has to open up her swing and then let off for that tip to come around, and then she's able to deliver. So the rope has to kind of catch up with her, and then she can deliver. But with the Spitfire, she can throw as soon as she wants to, right out of her swing, and cut the neck off, because this rope is going to stay more open, and this is going to stay around the neck easier for her because she don't have to let off or change her swing or anything. And for you breakaway ropers that, you know, times are getting fast and you have to hit the barrier to really reach and get out of your hand, you want a rope that's going to stay open through the air, I think this rope is absolutely amazing for that. And, you know, there's a lot of girls using it at the American semifinals. This is a favorite for all ropers. It's not for every roper. You know, you ladies that like a rope that's really soft, easy to swing, you're going to like the Striker, the Viper in a 9.0 or a 9.5. But for you ladies, maybe a little stronger, or even you guys, that you young kids breakaway roping in the junior high age group, I think this rope is the ticket. If you want to be able to reach, still get the rope tight, still have that body to where you can really keep it tight around the neck, this rope is it, honestly, it feels very, very good, but it's really taken the breakaway world by storm. And then the Spitfire, there's 3 different sizes. This is the new size. This is a size 40 in a lay soft, which is the only stiffness they do have in this rope. But this rope's gonna be more closer to like a 9.0, between a 9.0 and a 9.5 size. It's kind of right in the middle. But this rope is going to be really small in your hand. It's really fast. And with the crowns of this rope and how it is, this rope, you can rope multiple cows with it and get drugged in the arena, and it's going to stay smooth and snappy. It's really hard to get this rope to get fuzzy, kind of like a old poly. But this rope is, I mean, truly outstanding. And for you younger ladies or you younger kids, this size in a 40 is going to feel really, really good to you. So you're going to be able to really, really grip it and really get the neck with it. And then now we're going to move to the size that's one up. This is right in between kind of a 9.5 and a 9.5 and a 10.0 size. This is the size 50. And this is what Jackie and Kelsey and all the girls, this is exactly what they're using. They might have a couple 40s in their rope can, but this is mainly what they're using. This rope would be great for any type of situation, whether, you know, it's at the finals where they got 10 rounds and they're going at them, or the Spicer grip, or whatever the case may be. This rope's that nice right in the middle weight, and it's going to feel really, really exceptionally good. And another thing I asked Kelsey about, I asked about how her and Jackie break the ropes in, because they do come out. It's a nylon poly blend, and they do come out maybe some of them are a little, just maybe a touch stiffer, but you can maintain how the rope feels. You know, I talked to Ty Harris about it, and I talked to Kim about it, and you can just control how the rope feels by doing a couple things to it. Ty thinks, if you, like we use in a Spitfire, if you want to keep it in a kind of a cooler place, that's how he can regulate the rope stiffness. If you want to leave it in just anywhere, but put it in a cooler place, and that'll keep the rope softened up a little bit. But when Kelsey and Jackie get these ropes, they get out and they swing them, and just if they want to add a little softness to it, they just stretch it lightly on a pole. Just put on the pole, stretch it whichever way you want. If you want to have a little backswing, or if you want to have a little kick, you can regulate that on how you stretch it, but get a little stretch on it, make the eye kind of tighten down, and then let it set for a couple days, and then bring it out and even use it. And then there's even some girls I know that actually tie it off, run a tie down calf with it, have someone run a tie down calf with it, get that stretch, and then you can put it in your can, and then you can see what it does, and it'll get that stretch there, and then it'll feel good for forever. But you know, if it's, the weather's going to change all ropes. I mean, absolutely, from the team ropes to the calf ropes. So like I said, if you want it to soften up a little bit, just put a little stretch on it. If you want to stiffen up a little bit, maybe put it in a drier, more hotter, humid place, and it'll stiffen up for you. So this is the 50, and then this right here is the 60. So this rope is going to be more so like a 10-0, between a 10-0 and a 10-2-5. This rope's going to feel bigger in your hands, and this rope's going to be a little bit more aggressive. It's going to be a little all there. I don't see many ladies using this rope, but guys, I can see them using this rope, and I don't know if you guys ever heard of Brent Lewis or not, but this is kind of what he likes to trip with. He tripped with this rope. The last year he roped at the timed events, but this rope, I mean, for myself, I'm not a steer tripper, but I would love to steer trip with this rope because it does feel so good, and it's not going to break, but it will feel amazing because it has that team roping kind of feel for me, and then it's able to get the horns pretty dang tight. And then also with these Spitfires, myself, Ty Harris, and Haven Mended have all roped calves with these ropes. So if people say, you know, that's that nylon poly blend, it's going to stretch more. I personally don't think it stretches more than any of the poly ropes, and I have roped calves with them at the jackpots and stuff. And for me as a healer, having that little bit extra body, I can reach a little farther, and I can make sure I can do more with my rope. I feel like I don't have to baby it. I can really get it tighter on their neck and set up my goes however I want to. So that's all the Rattler ropes. Now we're going to move into some strings. We'll go from the biggest to the smallest. So up here we kind of have our chart. We have our 3/16 to our quarter full to our 5/16, and this is all the capital strings. First, I'm gonna start off. This is the boys goat string. You know, for you boys in the junior high division or you're in the younger division, this is the Rattler boys goat string. This string's really pretty dang good because I even tied 107 with it one time, so it's got to be really good. But this is the standard boys goat string. For all you kids growing up in the junior high division, you know, grab you one of these. They feel really good, and they're pretty dang. I've won a lot with them in all the junior high rodeos. So now we're going to go on the boys strings. This is the 3/16. This is the red eye of the white racers. And this string is the smallest string they have to offer for the starting off the racer line. So this string is going to be for the younger kids, the ladies, the ones that just first starting how to tie on the little jersey calves. This string's going to be really small, really easy to control, really easy to handle. This string is what everyone pretty much starts off with. This is the 3/16. This is the smallest one they make. You know, if you're just starting out, you're just tying the jersey calves, you want something that's easy, not stiff at all. They make them in sizes from an extra soft to a medium hard. So you can regulate how stiff you want the string, but this is going to be for you guys, the just younger kids with the smaller hands, be able to really grip this string in your mouth, be able to really grip the string with your hands, and it's still got the same fast feel that all the racer strings have. And from there, we're going to move to the quarter. This is the blue eye. This is one step up from the red eye. This is a very, very popular string. It's very common. So in this line, there's 3 different strings in the quarter line. There's the white racer, there's the blue racer, and there's a red racer. All of them have different material in them. All are the same size. It's just a preference of feel. From what the guys say, it's just a personal preference. The white racer strings are just how they make them right off the deal. but these are going to feel very, very good. These Rattler strings, all of them are going to have a lot of longevity, and they're all super, super fast. It's just kind of whatever kind of fits your niche. But this White Racer string's the standard one, but it's got a great feel to it. A lot of kids, like in junior high, really like this string to the professionals. This is the same diameter string they all like to use. But this string is very fast. It's very forgiving, and the guys want a lot with it. So here, I call this one the Haven Message string, but this is what Haven won the world with. This is what Haven uses on a daily basis. But this is the Blue Eye Blue Racer, and this is the only size they make it in. But this string is going to have its own unique feel. This string feels a little bit deader, maybe just kind of a little bit more weight to me, but it's going to have a little bit more of that deadness feel. Not as quite as much life as the White Racer, but this string is the most popular string. This is the best seller in all the first, second, third bestseller for Rattler. This is it. This is the string, and this string is going to have its own unique feel. Like I said, it's going to, like I said, it's going to be a little bit deader. It's going to place where when you throw your string out there, it's going to set a little bit more where you want it to. It's not going to have so much roll up. It's going to be able to set and kind of stay right there for you, and then you'll be able to go along with the tie with them. From there, you got your Red Racer, and then now you get your Red Racer with the Blue Eye. And this string is, everyone's kind of got the one. They're kind of still on the fence whether they like the blue or they like the red. But the red, from what the guys say, is a personal favorite. Justin Moss loves this string, and all the guys will filter out and use this string throughout the year. Or I have a couple of them, but they say this is the absolute best Rappin' Hooey string. For some reason, this is what they like. They said Rappin' Hooey's this string's the best, and they also say this string is the fastest. So if you got some fast hands, you have to tie really fast, this might be the string for you. The red material in here is kind of similar, maybe kind of what the heat is a little bit, but this string is going to be super fast. This string, all these strings will last a long time. You might need to break them in a little bit more because they are pretty fast, but this string has won tons of money, especially with them Rappin' Hooeys. But this is the string that the guys go really fast with, and this string, like I said, the blue's a little deader, a little bigger, a little heavier. This string almost has the same weight to me, but people say this string's gonna be a little bit faster in your hand and how it comes around. And from there, we're gonna go the most popular string for the pure CA level, for the size and everything. This is the Black Eye, and this is the quarter fulls. Those are the quarter scants. This is the quarter full. It's right in between the quarter scants and the 5/16ths. We're going to talk about here in a minute. But this string is what Ty Harris uses. This is what all the guys are using. Hunter Heron, Chad Mayfield. This is their string. They use this in probably a medium hard. And I know Ty personally. He likes to use his string a little older because he makes them a little bit deader. But their string has tons of life, tons of body, and you can tie as fast as you want with it. And I don't know if you've ever seen Ty Harris and Chad Mayfield tie calves, but they don't slow down for a minute. So this string's going to be pretty much your more elite ropers. If you like to tie really fast, you want a string that's going to stay with you, I feel like this is probably the best string in the market for you. And from there, we're going to move to the 5/16ths. And this, I talked to Ty about it yesterday, but this is arguably the best string in the world. For a string that's going to be consistent, hit the same, feel the same, this is what Marty Yates uses. This is the Purple Eye. This is the 5/16ths. It's big around because it is a 5/16ths. We're going to talk about a string that is consistent. And when I mean consistent and hits good, when them guys string that front leg and they step across, that string, when it hits out on the dirt by them calves, this string's going to come up and it's going to hit the same every time. This string's when you pitch it out there and when you're going to gather them legs, the string sits in one spot and it's not going to roll up. It's going to stay right there low where you can give guys can get that first grab. But if you can handle this string, I would recommend this string to anybody. But the 5/16ths Purple Eye is the smoothest, most consistent string in the lineup. And Ty, this is what he said. He said this is the best string in the world. If you can fit it in your mouth and if you can really tie with it, this is the string for you because this one's the most consistent and it is the best string going. And from there, we're going to go to the Steerstripping Strings. This right here, they have two different sizes. They're both 5/16 fulls, but this is the 2-ply, one's a 3-ply. My partner, when he starts roping or stripping steers, get ready for time event, Eric Rogers, he does not like this string. This is a 2-ply string, and I think he has maybe header off his hands. But this string, if you tie a lot of steers with them, it'll kind of bite your hands a little bit. But the old school tripper guys, they really like this string. The strings, I mean, it's just a feel. I don't know much about tripping steers, but it's either 2-ply or 3-ply. So it's whatever your preference is. But they do make them, Rattler makes them both a 2-ply and a 3-ply. This is a 3-ply. This is, I'd say, what's more common. This is what Eric likes to use because this one's a little easier on his hands. But they do make 2 types of stripping strings to end out the Rattler strings lineup. That's all of them.
Okay, we have a few questions for you.
Perfect.
Kathleen asked if they come in different colors.
What
I
color?
assume she's talking about the ropes. That was back when you were talking about them. So.
No, Kathleen. This is standard colors. The striker comes in the white. The Viper comes in this gold color, and then the Spitfires are that red color. But that's all the colors they come in.
This question is from Ashley. She asks, what is the best rope for someone just starting out?
For just starting out, I would recommend a Viper or the striker of your preference, probably in a 9.0. A 9.0 is kind of 9.0, 9.5, kind of right in the middle. It's going to be really small around. It's going to still have a little body, but it's going to have that nice softness you need to first figure out your swing, figure out how you find your target, and figure out how you catch the neck. So I would recommend a Viper or a striker in a 9.0 or 9.5 if you've never roped before. But there's a lot of novices in the breakaway. Like, let me say, there's a lot of ladies that team rope really, really well. And they say, oh my gosh, breakaway's booming. I want to try to breakaway. They have easier transition going from the Spitfire than just regular poly because team ropes have body, they stay open. And then you come to the polys where they're a little deader. They got that softness feeling. There's not enough action. Ladies that maybe team rope a little bit, they prefer the Spitfire because the Spitfire's an nylon poly blend. It's going to have a little bit more body for them ladies that are used to that. That's easier for them to use. So if you're just never roped before in your life, I would recommend the Viper or the striker in a 9.0 or a 9.5. But if you've been team roping possibly and you want to move to breakaway, I'd recommend the Spitfire in that 40 or 50.
Melissa would like to know if they come in longer lengths for ranch roping.
They come in a standard 28-foot length, but if you that's the only standard length. But I think if you needed more, they do make the Classic makes a ranch rope that is 35 foot. It's a nylon, 100% nylon. It's an extra soft.
Okay, Marilyn asks, so the more ply, the thicker the rope or the stronger they are?
That don't really have much to do with it, I don't think. The 4-strand, the 5-strand, it's just a different feel. The 4-strand's gonna, you can see the crowns of a 4-strand are gonna be a little bit rougher. They're not gonna be quite as smooth. They're gonna be more distinct in the crowns. And then in the 5-strand, it's going to be a little bit smoother because the crowns are tighter together because that's 5 strands instead of 4. And it's going to have a smoother, maybe easier to grip, maybe easier to slide in your hand feel. So that's more the difference. But all the ropes are going to be really strong. They're probably not going to break. But that's the difference when I say the ply or the 4-strand or the 5-strand.
That's all we have.
That's perfect. Should we have them talk about care? Care on this one?
Yeah, I think that'd be good to cover probably again.
Paden, can you go over rope care, how you care for them so they?
Yeah, absolutely. So in the breakaway ropes, I think what's great when you get the rope out, get it out of the twisties and swing it. And just for maintenance issues and for rope care, personal preference, man, this rope feels perfect. I recommend getting the rope, powdering it up, putting it in your can, and then you could start your tie-off process or however you want to do it from there, or whatever you want to use the rope for. But let me say you get the rope out and you think, man, this rope, it's maybe just a touch stiff right now because it's new and it's got that new feel. I'd recommend getting it on a post, stretching it, or even running one tie-down calf with it, getting that stretch on it, and then coiling up in your rope can and putting it away. And I do you know, you guys have rope cans or not, but that's what the majority of the calf ropers use as rope cans. They don't use rope bag, they use a rope can. And a lot of guys will keep them rope cans in a climate controlled area to where they can maintain the temperature of the ropes in there, and they put a lot of powder in there to make them feeling the best they possibly can. I know there's a lot of breakaway ropers that have a lot of cans and they keep 3 to 4 ropes in a can. It doesn't matter as long as you can keep the ropes neat and organized. You can put quite a few ropes in the can, but I think powder's your friend. I don't think you can put enough powder on them to maintain their feel when the hot weather or the cold weather. I think that powder is a very key attribute. I know a lot of breakaway ropes use powder, but I think powder helps regulate the rope's temperature and make them feel as smooth and consistent as possible.
All right.
And I can talk about strings too. So to me, the break process on one of these strings, so you get a string, it's brand new. I think it's very important to me personally, when you get a brand new string, is you want to, because sometimes them in a box or sometimes a store will have them a little funky, but you want to get them to where they're straight. You want to get them to where when you get them, you want them to be straight. You want the tail to be straight as can be. And then they make pipes. Rattler also carries pipes, so you can stick the string, you can unwind it, and you can stick it in a pipe to keep it straight as possible. But you want to keep them straight as possible. And 2, the second thing you want to do is the eye of the string. You want to stretch this on the object like that, and then you want to pull on the end of it to where you get this eye sucked down really tight. And maybe a trick that I've seen some guys use right before they rope, or if the string's pretty new before you break it in, I've seen them do this. I've seen them close the eye up, run the tail through the eye, and wear it around their neck or their shoulders like this, because they want that eye to stay sucked down like that, okay? So if your string feels a little new and it needs to be a little tighter right there, this is one trick you can kind of do. But right before you tie the string to break it in, I think it's very important to put this on a small object and stretch it, because you want this stretched right here. You want that tight, because when you string that front leg, you want absolutely no room for forgiveness, because when you want to string that front leg, you want it to be tight and you want that string to be out. You want this eye to be sucked tight around the front leg. So I think it's very important to stretch your string on an object before you tie with it, and maybe after too. Maybe after you get done tying with it, stretch it lightly and get that string really straight. Make sure the body's good, and then put it in a place where it's either hanging up, or you don't want to leave it like this though. When with your strings, when you leave it in a nice place, you don't want to leave it like this. I leave my strings. I know Ty Harris and Haven, I've been in their trailers. They have their strings hanging up just like that, hanging down to where the string's tail is hanging down flat, and then with the hoop kind of big. Before they rope, they'll jacket their string and they'll maybe stretch it and get this thing tightened down. But you want to let it set like this to where the string has a chance to have good body, and this eye doesn't get kinky. You want this eye to stay really firm and really straight. So when you do put it in your mouth and you want to string one, it's going to be consistent for you. But when your string's the same way, you don't want to overdo it. You want to run maybe 5, 6, maybe 10th max with your new string. Make some really good runs with them, and then put them up for a minute and let them set. Make that body good, because if you just keep tying with a brand new string, or if you leave the calf tied up with the string for a long time, you're going to notice that probably has some kinks in it, because you're just breaking the string in, you're just stretching it, and now you got it around the legs and you got it all tied up like this. Imagine staying tied up like that for a while. When you undo the string, it's probably going to be a little messy, a little kinky, and it's not going to be as smooth. So tie with them correctly. Tie with them a couple times. Make sure it's stretched after you get done tying with them. Keep it really straight, and then set it in place kind of like that. Let it set like that, and it'll last you forever. And once you get that first process break-in done, then you can go take it out, run a couple more with it, and then you'll get it right where you want it to. And Ty Harris uses probably 12, 15 strings a year. He likes his old, but he takes really good care of them, and he uses them all. But he'll use one string for a month. That's how long he can make his strings last, because he likes them older. He uses the black eye and a quarter full, and he likes them older. But then they have that feel to where they're a little fuzzy, but they stay with him, and then they stay really tight because he likes them a little older. So that's why I think is probably the best way to break in your strings. and that's the break-in process the guys use.
Awesome. We've answered all the questions, so do you have anything else you'd like to add? If anybody has more questions, go ahead, leave them in the comments, and we will get with Paden and get them answered for you.
We're ready to draw a winner.
I'm ready to draw a winner whenever. So we're gonna go ahead and draw a winner. So the winner for today is Marilyn Wims. So, woo,
Congratulations.
congratulations, Marilyn. If you're still on, go ahead and send us a PM to claim your prize.
Okay. Paden, we want to thank you so much for joining us again today.
You bet.
If anybody missed the live video from Tuesday, make sure you go back and watch that one too. They were both great. We really appreciate you working with us, and thank you everyone for watching.
And before we hop off of here, we want to remind you that our Swinging for the Fences sweepstakes is going on now. It ends on April 23rd, and join us on Tuesday because we will be going over the prizes and much more. So we will see everybody on Tuesday. Have a great weekend. See you later.
Bye.